Hello, hello, are we live? Sorry, I just, still prepping the preview on my phone. I'm double checking stuff. How are we all doing today? I can't see anyone in chat. Let me refresh that good stuff. Yeah, there's no one here, I don't think. Say hi, welcome. I am starting the stream early, but it's also technically late. It's kind of bizarre how that works, but I'll explain. So this was originally going to be an hour earlier, starting at 3 rather than 4, but I've started it 10 minutes before 4, even though we chose it later because I had a D&D session. I wasn't sure if it was going to run over because time zones are confusing, and that's happened so many times now. Like, why don't I just reschedule my streams? I'm just being inconsiderate at this point. But anyways, today I'm not alone. I forgot to put his icon there, but the thing is, I'm collaborating once again with the exact same guy from the last stream, except instead of this stream being a bunch of cringy, half-baked Bendy the Ink Machine personality quizzes, this is going to be a bunch of, you know, well-crafted, intelligent, and engaging tier lists. Bendy the Ink Machine themed tier lists with my good friend Mark, aka Malcat. Here he is. And there's today's LIGOL and QOTD. Best answer to the QOTD, if you were in charge, what would you do to save/revive the Bendy brand in 2021, will win a shout out. And, you know, I've been meaning to talk about this. Light goals are all, these are neat and all. And I do think 20 is a good goal, but I want to start raising my standards because, you know, I'm getting more subscribers and I don't want to have a large inactive base. So I'm going to set the standard to 25 from now on. I'm not going to say every stream's going to have the same light goal. That might be a bit unfair because, you know, certain streams always do better than others. So I got to set, like, different standards to have it be, like, equal, you know, equity, not equality. But that's today's light goal. Not expecting to hit it, but if you guys really want to see more tier lists, 25 likes and it'll happen. So, you're live. Hello and welcome.
Hello everybody, welcome to the live stream. It is me, the Malcat, which you may see right now as a StarCat Productions. That's because this is my summer cameo. I am a summer cameo.
Yeah, you just did a little rebrand. I don't even know what that means to be. What do you mean summer cameo? Like what? Why summer?
Okay, so some people. Okay, it's just because I want to do it for fun. Okay.
I mean that's
some
a valid
people have summer
reason.
cameos too, so I thought.
I was just curious, because I've never heard the word cameo used in this context. Also, I've just realized I can drag this thing on Discord. I don't know how long this has been a thing, but I can hide our precious DMs.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Look on the stream. I mean...
Oh my god!
How whack is that,
Wait,
man?
what the? Wait, you gotta do this?
That's crazy.
What the hell?
This is literally his reaction right now, guys. Yeah, pretty neat. But neither of us is screen sharing anything, so I can't go full. Doesn't matter. But yeah, guys, is the audio balance good? Is like, can you hear him? Can you hear me? Can you hear the music? Is the kind of arrangement? Just talk a little bit more. Just talk. That's good. That's good.
What am I even doing?
I think the audio balance is good. Do tell me, guys, if the audio balance needs changing. I can't really know unless you tell me. My mic is slightly below the desktop. The music's quieter. This guy's turned up. All right.
Oh, also my DJ's in the chat, and Livy's in the chat.
So yeah, hello DJ, hello Livy. Thank you so much for joining. Leave a like. I can see we've got 4 likes, which is absolutely crazy. Audio balance seems fine, thank you. I can see there's 5 people watching, so there's one other person here as well as us 2 and these 2, I think. So do say hi. Yeah.
One of them is me, by the way. One of them is me. I'm just making sure the stream's alright. I'm just making sure the stream's running well.
Yeah. Okay.
Alright.
I think we're good, so let me explain, guys. Welcome to Bendy Tier List Debate Direct episode 44. We're on the 44th episode now. We're building up to the episode 50, halfway to a 3-digit. The big numbers.
Yes.
And we're back with tier lists. I want to normalize tier lists on this series. I've had tier lists here and there, but this is like the 4th time I've ever done it, despite the fact we're on episode 44. So I want to do more tier lists. As I said in the description, they're an easy to use and visually appealing way of reviewing and rating things. And today, we're continuing this trend of Bendy. You know, we did the last debate direct on Bendy. You know, I've recently revisited Bendy and the Ink Machine. Maybe we could get Boris and the Dark Survival back somehow. Maybe Nightmare Run. I'll play Bendy and Nightmare Run maybe. That is something I could actually do if you guys want to see that. I'm not interested because I stopped playing that game a long time ago.
I actually.
But if you're interested, I can actually do that because I've got recording software.
Well,
on my phone
I
now.
played it.
Mm.
Well, I played it like a long time back.
Yeah,
I played it like a long time back, and that game's hard.
Yeah, the game.
Yeah, I remember the
It
characters.
starts off pretty easy, and then the difficulty just ramps up. It's great. It's pretty well balanced. I actually quite liked it, but if I were to review it in depth, I'd need to probably refresh my memory, which is something I'm not really going to do today. But you will see, guys, linked in the description. First of all, you can check out the fellow cartoons, including Malcat. He's the only person with me today, but there's this game jolt. Go check him out. He's modeling like FNAF characters because he's making like a FNAF game. There's a whole load of things going on. He's sharing some fun stuff. Okay, yeah, there's actually not much here. I really thought there'd be more. Is this new? Is this your new account? Because you changed. I thought you just changed your name. This looks like a new account because there's like 3 posts.
No, I didn't change the name. That's it. I did change my name.
Dude, you've got like nothing on your profile. I guess you posted it on the game pages. Oh, he doesn't have any games. I have no idea what's going on. But yeah, guys, that's it. If you want to contact the dude, that's the way. Yeah. And links below.
Not yet though.
Yeah, link below. I have the 3 tier lists. One is reviewing Bendy games, one is reviewing chapters, and one is reviewing characters. And funny fun fact, guys, I could have transitioned smoothly into talking about Bendy games from Nightmare Run, but no, I'm going to do this instead. I don't know why that's alignment. Oh, wait, is that the characters one? Getting it all mixed up. No, I want to do chapters first, I think. Yeah. So the way we're going to do this.
No, that one.
The way we're going to do this is that we can also do like we do alignment charts as well as tier lists, and I think for the games and the chapters I'm going to do tier lists, but I'm going to do an alignment chart for the characters, and we'll talk about that soon, because this is actually a tier list that I made. This is a tier list that I made years ago.
Wait.
And yeah, it's I remember making this tier list. I remember getting all the images off the wiki and making it all kind of like consistent. I even included a bunch of obscure characters from like the cartoons and stuff. So yeah, this is a pretty comprehensive tier list, guys. And look at all these reactions. People love this. People love this tier list. I actually did 2 tier lists. I did a hydration time tier list as well. That was for a stream from ages ago. We're really getting sidetracked now, but yeah, these are my tier lists, guys. They're connected to my Twitter and everything, which you can find linked in the description, by the way. I'm going to stop being a sellout. Guys, let's rate the Bendy games. There's only 4 games which have existed for the Bendy franchise, and one of them hasn't even released yet. But we've got 5 tiers here. We've got S, A, B, C, and D.
Which one we do first?
So, the Bendy games 2017 to 2020. The one on screen.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
Just look at the stream.
So that one. Got it. Yeah, I'm on it. I'm on it.
I'm going to add a couple rows to really flesh this out, alright? We're going to have E, F.
Okay.
I'm going to have a U category. I'm going to have categories that are the same as my list, which goes S, A, B, C, D, E, F, U. Because I really want to convey that, you know, having the bottom be D just isn't far enough. Alright, it's just not far enough. We've got to really expand this to represent a whole load of different categories. That's not quite the smoothest transition, but it'll do. So, let me actually think that might look better.
Do you want me to do the same or not? Do you want me to do the same as you?
If you want, sure. I'm just doing this to really better reflect things, right? Because... Wait, hang on.
Okay, got it.
Why are E and D the wrong way around?
I'm gonna keep mine the same.
Get out of here. But yeah, so the thing is...
What?
D and E were the wrong way around. Don't ask. I have no idea what's going on.
Okay.
I'm just as confused as you are. But yeah, the thing is, guys, right? Some of these games are amazing and some of them are awful. And I'm here to find out why, because I've never actually thought about this before. I gotta say, DJ, there were actually a few secrets and things I didn't cover in Boris and the Dark Survival. There were some Easter eggs, things which I missed, and I've just never bothered to go back for them because I've been focused on other things. So, if Boris and the Dark Survival comes back, you'll know, but yeah. I was looking for help making the thumbnails, but no one responded, so I've got a new plan. I'm just gonna work something out with that, yeah. So, well, let's rate the games, okay? So you gotta understand, S rank is like best game ever, right? And U means... well, you know, doesn't actually exist, wouldn't even consider it a game. I have to put the Dark Revival in you, because it's not even out yet. I can't rate that, guys. I'm sorry. But I have to exempt it. It's not even out yet. You know, the company made a lot of mistakes, but they're slowly but surely getting through the development of that. Just be patient, you know? My life, you know, this is such a trivial thing on it. It's just a video game. There are plenty of things I can be bothered with in the meantime. People who revolve their life around these things, you know, are absolute fucking losers and need to get a grip on reality. But that does leave F as probably the tier for the terrible games. So got Bendy in the Ink Machine, Boris in the Dark Survival, and Bendy in Nightmare Run. Let's start with the least controversial, Bendy in Nightmare Run. So for those of you who don't remember, there was a Bendy in the Ink Machine mobile game, which was made in association with, I can't remember, Kool-Aid or something.
I can't remember either.
It was Fat Mojo, that was it. I think it was Fat Mojo. But yeah, Bendy Nightmare Run is like a temple run Bendy game. You're running away from big monsters and all kinds of crazy settings. So you're collecting bacon soup cans, using power-ups and stuff, and trying to get high scores. It's pretty cool. There's loads of costumes and stuff, and like different like skins you can get. And it's all just cosmetic, but it is a bit, it's kind of pay to win. Compared to most mobile games though, it's not that bad. I'd probably say this is actually better than FNAF AR in terms of suffering from, you know, mobile game aids of, you know, having to pay to win. Like this actually does pretty well. It's a really enjoyable game, really graphically well designed. Like it's really stylish, like, you know, and it's got loads of, it feels vintage. It's been a long time since I played it. I got bored of it after a while, as you do with all games, but like I played this for a good few months. Like compared to FNAF AR, which I gave up with after less than a year, like this, I don't know, this game I really feel like was quite enjoyable. And there was a lot of grinding later on, but you know, it was fun just to kind of, you know, experience all the different characters, because Bendy, Boris, and Ansel play differently, and, you know, see all these fun costumes and stuff. I don't know, I wouldn't say it was addictive. Maybe it was to some, but yeah, I remember the hype around this game. It was short-lived.
To me, it was. It was.
What do you think, though? Do you disagree? Like,
to me, it was. I'm gonna say that game was actually good. It is addictive with all the running and stuff, and even with you having to survive from each of the monsters they have to run from. It's kind of cool because like you can like throw weapons back at them, just grab one of them and just yank them right behind you, and then just bam, hit them.
Yeah. Actually, you've reminded me of the gameplay as well. You know, you have to like jump and maneuver around. You have to throw weapons and actually drop the boss's health down to 0 while keeping yours up while being chased. Otherwise, it just goes on forever. So it's not.
And dodging the little minions.
Yeah, you know, it's like Pizzeria Simulator compared to FNAF 1. You're not just like waiting for the round to end. You're actually in control of when the round ends, and you know, there's a lot. It's I believe it's called Fulero Healthy, but I'm a little. Guys, did the stream just drop out for anybody? Is the stream, because it's buffering for me?
I don't know. The stream's fine.
It's fine for you. That's weird. Very small glitch. If that keeps going, I'll switch my connection maybe. But yeah, we were just sharing opinions on Nightmare Run. So Nightmare Run, honestly, I'd rate it pretty highly. I already got to think about this because it's been a long time since I played this game. But you know, gameplay is pretty engaging. Players very much in control. Graphics, sound effects is really polished, very stylish. The whole pay-to-win thing isn't too bad. The costumes and weapons are genuinely rewarding, even though they're purely cosmetic. They're fun. And I think the level design is pretty good. There's only 1 or 2 problems with the game, which is like, you know, certain bugs, at certain places being unfair. Like, actually playing the hardest difficulty Nightmare mode is, like, still far from impossible. It's really cool. I don't know. I don't know much to complain about with this game. I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was a lot of fun. The thing is, though, it was a mobile game. You know, story's pretty lacking. It's not very ambitious. It's mostly just the same old temple run kind of thing, just looping over and over and over. So, like, you know, they do have these achievements you can get, so that it does enhance the replayability, actually. You know what? Honestly, Nightmare Run's a lot better than I think people give it credit for. I'm putting it in A. I'm putting it in A rank. I think the only thing...
I'm putting it in S rank.
You put it in S rank? Fair enough, dude. I think this game's a lot better than people give it credit for, because the more I think about it, the more I think the only issues I have with the game is that it gets boring to do grinding at the very end of the game, trying to get all those high levels, but, you know, that's, again, is a choice that the player makes, and some people enjoy that, some don't, so it's not really a problem with the game, you know. Bugs and stuff, it wasn't that bad, every game has bugs, you know. It doesn't have much in the way of story. It would have been fun if we had more, like, I guess, cartoon stills, maybe like a comic book. But, like, this is the, you know, that's not a problem with the game, that's just something that could have been, that wasn't, you know, obviously missing. You know, these are just my ideas. It really is a very good game, you know, pay to win wasn't that bad. Actually.
Yeah, but definitely with skins though, I think my favorite one in there has to be the golden skins. Golden Bendy,
that was another thing, I haven't brought this up yet. There were... The thing about the golden skins, if you got like super loads of bacon soup, you could get golden skins of the characters. The weird thing is that it doesn't fit the graphics style. Like, I get that the having pure gold versions of the characters is like a big reward and it's ultra exclusive and that's really cool, but also like... You know, it's the one thing that breaks the black and white kind of look of it. It would have been cool if sepia was an option, actually, as well as black and white. Maybe like Cuphead, where if you beat the game, you get to unlock a different kind of graphic stuff. But again, that's like not a problem with the game. It's just something that could have been. So I'm not going to say it was a perfect game, but it comes damn close. So it's going in an A rank for me. Don't need to talk about the Dark Revival. The game's not out yet. You know, if it was out, I have no idea. It might be an S rank, it might be an F rank, I don't know. So I'm just keeping that one out for now. Let's move on to Boris and the Dark Survival. I'm just gonna read DJ's comment. Yeah, unique charm, gameplay style. Yeah, I agree, DJ. I actually think Nightmare Run's an underrated gem. What do we think about Boris and the Dark Survival? What do we think? Where do you think I'm gonna put it?
I'll have to get that next rank. I'm gonna have to get that next rank. I don't know. I think either an A. I think A or S. Yeah. Because hey, it is good. It is good because they get the it's kind of like a scavenger hunt. Where they get to like find the stuff order and needing to get what you need to get back to the elevator. But yet you also have to survive the monsters like the Butcher Gang, Alice, the Protectionist, and Bendy.
Here's the thing, right? Before any of the updates, I would have put it in E, because it was, you know, very repetitive, lacking, unpolished. But here's the thing, the Wolf Trials especially, in addition to the other updates, added multiple characters to play as, all with their own different gameplay gimmicks as well as cosmetic differences, a bunch of different enemies who again all function differently as well as look different, and a whole load of different maps. And there's a different quest for each update. You know, there's the storyline of Boris piecing his identity back together with, you know, the scraps. There's, you know, the Alice Angel storyline, you know, with the tapes Miller. You know, there's the Lost One paper. There's loads of stuff. And there's some Easter eggs like, you know, Borkis and, you know, Sammy's song. There's a whole load of really interesting little things. And also things that connect to the lore of Bendy and the Dark Revival from Bendy and the Machine. It kind of connects the two and acts as a bridge. So Boris and the Dark Survival has a lot going for it, I'd say. I mean... Again, it's got story. It's got good story, which is derived from Bendy and the Machine. Interesting characters. Boris is very relatable. They added the dances as well as the songs. So there's loads and loads of different like collectibles and things to grab. I remember there being like different options for controls. You know, which is pretty good. Like you can use mouse or not have mouse. It's up to you. The graphics are pretty good. It's like Bendy and the Machine, slightly more refined. Top-down perspective. It also manages somehow to be scarier than Bendy and the Machine, despite the fact it's not even close to first person, because of the random jump scares when you're looking through the walls, but also because the tension of being chased with the music, especially of Bendy, the projections, all of them, all the Butch Gang not so much, but with the others, being chased, the music, the visual effects, the sound, like, it's genuinely much, much more tense than pretty much 99% of Bendy and the Machine. I think that puts it in S rank for me. I think I'm sold.
Yeah, I must say the same.
Do you want to add anything? Am I just, like, is this all just agree with it? Or...
I have no clue. But to be honest, in my perspective, I think the one thing that scared me, though, in most of that was, I think, Betty's jump scare. Like, to be honest, he looks like he's punching you. He looks like he punted you.
Yeah, I think actually, I do remember now. Honestly, critique of Boris and the Dark Survival. Obviously, they could add whatever else in new updates. They could add, Alison and Tom. Maybe they could add more updates. I don't think they're done with the game. I'm not sure. It's been a while, but there was a long period of time between some of the later updates. They could add actual objectives outside, because it's like once you do the story, there's replayability for the collectibles, and then after that, it just feels like. They could add more mini games, like the kind of like the paddle thing, or maybe like, oh, there's a reward for reaching day 100 or something, like doing this much in a session. Speedrunning is also a pretty cool thing for this game, which I haven't looked into yet. But the jump scares are kind of.
I imagine like you speedrun the whole game and just seeing it.
I'll be honest, I think the jump scares are one of the few things in this game which is genuinely kind of crap, because they just don't look any good. Like go on.
Yeah, the Birdie game really didn't have any good jump scares. The Birdie game really didn't have any good jump scares. Like, Alice just runs at you. Resistance does the same. And Bendy, it just looks like the freaking, the chapter 1 jump scare. Which,
the chapter 1 jump scare is a big shock for the first time seeing it, but after that, it's like, I know what's coming. Again, it's the same problem here. It's very repetitive. The animation's not very, like, aggressive or spooky or creepy or anything. Alice and the Projectionist, it's not even a unique animation. It's literally just them in their running animation being like, moved along a line towards the player. It looks crap. And the thing is, the Butcher Gang looks jerky because it's 3 characters jump scaring you at the same time, and it's just a bit claustrophobic, and it's like, it doesn't have the pacing or the fear or anything, because, like, 2 of them are just kind of janking around, and then Fisher's just kind of like wobbling his head from side to side in a slow swinging motion. Like, it doesn't even look scary. And the thing is, you're always ready for the jump scare, because from the moment they catch you, it's not an instant jump scare. It cuts to black, and there's like a predictable, not very scary sound. And there's like a period of time where you know what's gonna happen, so it's not even like tense or anything. The one jump scare which is scary is the Borkus Easter egg, but then they changed it to give him an actual jump scare, which sucks, because originally it would just cut to a black screen after you being caught, and you would just be sitting there in darkness for slightly longer than usual, expecting something really scary, and then it would just bring you back to the safe house, and it would be really, really tense. There would be no jump scare, just pure build-up, and because that's the scary part. But no, they failed. They patched it, and they gave Borkus a jump scare.
That is.
But other than that, it's pretty much perfect, which is why I still think it deserves S rank. I think if they fixed the jump scares, it'd be basically the perfect game. For what it is, near perfect.
Yep.
Nothing's perfect.
Now to the main one. Bendy and the Ink Machine.
Yes.
The very one.
Just reading DJ's comments and catching up. I agree. I like that Boris got the spotlight. He is a fan favorite. He deserves it. Alice has had such a presence across both that game and Bendy that she doesn't really need her own game, I don't think. But Boris definitely did. And yeah, the gameplay style's different. It's much more action-based than Bendy. It's less puzzle. No, that's good. Also, yeah, the game was $1 and all the DLCs are free. I would happily pay a tenner for this game as it is now with all of its updates. Like, the game was $1. It was super cheap. That's like 85 pence in my currency. Like, less than a single pound. Like, that was cheap. The game is much cheaper as well, despite being better. So, mad respect. Nightmare Run also was free, because it's a mobile game, in-app purchases, completely fair, right? Like, the game was free, and yeah, that's incredible. Now, let's talk about the game, which currently is well over $10. It's around $15, I think. Bendy and the Ink Machine in its final form with all the updates. We're gonna ignore previous updates.
Wait. Hold on, man.
What is it?
Hold on, man. BRB real quick. I need to make something to eat. I'm like hungry, so I'll be right back.
Alright, no problem. I've actually just realized I have no hydration, so I also need to get up. I'll do that when he's back. But, while waiting for him, let me just show you this. So Bendy and the Ink Machine, just for the record, and again, this doesn't factor into the quality of the game at all, it's just interesting to consider. Bendy Nightmare Run is free with in-app purchases. That could vary from $1 to $90, in all honesty. Boris and the Dark Survival is $1 with free DLCs. Bendy and the Ink Machine is... Okay, that's showing English currency. I'm going to do this in dollars because that's a more universal currency. Let me just get a conversion. So, British pound sterling to United States dollar. Wait, Bitcoin Pro? Oh, it's GBP. Wait, what's GBP? Is it not sterling? Alright, can I just have... Sorry, I don't know BPS. Hold on, let me just get, GBP. Can I just see the exchange rate, please? Again, I know exchange rates change, blah, blah, blah. Why is this so difficult? Can I just have a converter? Okay, thank you. Alright, here we go. So, it's 1.4 times. So, bending the machine's about 15 and a half quid. Times 1.4. Let me just do the math. Let me get my calculator. I'm pretty bad at math, but 15.49. That's for the game. You can get the Boris and Dutch file together in a bundle, which is like much less, which is really cool. The buddy bundle, I like that. 15. What was that? 49. 1549 times 1.4097. That's probably not going to make a difference, negligible difference, but yeah. So that's about $20, nearly $22. All right. So Bendy the Ink Machine is 22 times the price of Boris and the Dark Survival. Okay, 22 times the price, and although there were issues with it in development as the chapters released, we're just going to judge the final version of the game. We're not going to be looking at, oh, what was it like when there were only 3 chapters and chapter 3 was this awful fetch quest, you know, nightmare. No. Chapter 3 was fixed, okay? So we're looking at the final version of the game as it is at the time of this stream. If you want to know when this was streamed, you can see for yourself. The information's there. So, why did that pause? That's weird. Oh, for fuck's sake. Ooh, what's this? Ooh. That's, I won't show on stream. That's completely unrelated. But yeah. So, Bendy the Ink Machine, we all know. I've been revisiting this. I've almost finished the game. It is a big, expansive game. Puzzle-solving game. It's mainly puzzle-solving. There's also some action here. There's some, like, combat sequences. There's some, you know, stealth sequences. You know, there's a lore, there's story, there's loads of amazing character designs, unique graphics, brilliant soundtrack, probably equal soundtrack in regards to Boris and the Dark Survival, equal, I would say, in regards to storytelling. I don't know, Boris I think Boris is slightly better, actually. What else? So, gameplay. We've talked about story, we've talked about soundtrack, graphics. Obviously, the graphics are stunning. You know, the unique mix of, like, industrial, steampunk with 1930s, 40s style, you know, vintage cartoons, all in sepia. Very, very attractive. But Bendy and the Ink Machine, gameplay-wise, you got puzzle solving, you've got some combat, more puzzle solving, going through the game here, some chase sequences, you've got some more fetch questing, puzzle solving, stealth sequences, more stealth sequences, puzzle solving, walking simulator, stealth sections, skill-based games, puzzle solving, combat sequence, stealth sequence, combat sequence, walking simulator, other thing, combat sequence, huge combat sequence, stealth sequence, puzzle solving, and then walking simulator. The point is, this game has a lot of different gameplay styles going for it, but it's inconsistent. The game is pretty inconsistent in its gameplay style, and there's lots of cool collectibles and Easter eggs and things to go back for, which really, again, put it on par with Boris and the Dark Survival. I mean, I can't put it above, because Boris is already in an S rank. Bendy the Ink Machine has also had a huge impact. It was the one to begin all of this. You gotta remember, you know, it's the original one that introduced these characters, ideas, and adventures. It's really, really good. But I'm gonna do something a little bit controversial. Alright? I'm gonna do something a little bit controversial. I think this game is seriously brought down by inconsistent gameplay, weird dialogue. It's kind of weirdly balanced. Like, there's a lot of times when Henry speaks when you wouldn't expect him to, and a lot of times he doesn't speak when you would expect him to. You know, weird story details. You know, some parts of the game are just straight up not fun to play. The final boss battle was very lackluster. Chapter 3 was originally very boring. Chapter 4 has a lot of walking simulator, even though it's my favourite chapter, I think. That might change my opinion on that today. You know, there is a lot of walking at the start and not much else. You know, some bits which are just quite boring, lots of sequences you have to sit through, like dialogue sequences, loads of scripted events where the player doesn't have control. And only one ending. You can never get a different ending. This game was being set up for having at least 2 endings, and instead we got this bizarre, controversial, infinite loop thing happening. So the end is the beginning, and the end is only the, you know, the end is just the end is just the end is just, you know, like Stanley Parable. And like that kind of meta thing isn't what anyone really expected, and I don't think it really works for Bendy. This didn't need to be a meta game. It was very much, you know, I would have been happy with just a very, you know, cut and straight ending. And I think that brings it down. I think there's a lot of things which bring this game down. Lots of small things that really snowball. You know, some of the, you know, how do I put this? Don't get me wrong, the game improved massively from its inception. I think it has a lot going for it. I think the graphic style is stellar. The storytelling's okay. It's trying to bit too hard to be FNAF, but it's cool. You know, the soundtrack is spectacular. I love the characters. I think the character designs, the only thing that's really lackluster is the gameplay. Because the gameplay's not consistent. You know, is this a horror game? Or is it an action game? Or is it a puzzle game? Or is it a walking simulator? Or is it like an adventure game? I don't know what genre to put this in, you know? I'm not saying it has to be in a box strictly. I think I like that fluidity, but, you know, Bendy the Ink Machine, it's not clear what it's trying to be. And the fact that there are separate chapters make this all the more inconsistent. And I'm not saying that it's a good thing that the Dark Revival is coming out as one. I really enjoyed the release of chapter by chapter. That was one of the things that made the hype for this amazing, and I'm really going to miss that feeling. But, like, I don't know what the deal is, you know? Yeah, and, there are a lot of missed opportunities, particularly with the ending. The ending was a bit crap. The gameplay is inconsistent.
Your feed!
Fucking hell, you gave me a shock, dude. My heart just jumped out of, like, my stomach. Like, I threw up my innards. Holy crap, like, I just had, like, a minor jump. Like, my heart skipped a beat, that's what I'm saying. Anyways, so I actually need to... Are you serious? Did I really scare you that loud? I was actually reviewing it while you were gone. You've come at the perfect time, because I was just finishing. I need to get up to go get some hydration. So, tell the people what you think of Bendy the Ink Machine, and what you think of my possibly controversial stance on listing it, because I think it goes, well, you can see on the stream. I'll be right back, fellas, alright? Carry the stream, cat.
I will.
Thanks.
I will. Okay, so, everyone in stream, this is what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say in my perspective of Bendy the Ink Machine, I'm not saying it's good, because mostly, I'm gonna say most of the stuff on the game, and a lot of interactions, and story play is good, because, in my perspective, it just is. So, yeah. That's why, and what the heck? Ignore the background, everyone. But yeah, everyone. That is why I say Vending Machine is an S in my opinion. From this debate.
Hello, I'm back. What have I missed?
Welcome back.
What have I missed?
Not so much.
Alright.
Not a lot.
What,
Chicken.
yeah? Oh, has no one even said anything in chat? No. Alright. Well, quiet stream. Happens.
No
Look.
Nope.
Well, now that I'm here, tell me, what do you think of Bendy the Ink Machine? Do you agree with my placement or nah?
I wasn't here. I was making lunch, remember?
Yeah, but you came back just as I was leaving. What have you been doing for the last 2 minutes?
While you were gone, eating. And mostly I did say some stuff. I'm gonna say it's a good game, cause story, lore, and I'm gonna say, well, a lot of stuff. Oh.
Come on, just take your time, think about it. You know, you've got story, you've got, you know, gameplay, you've got soundtrack, graphics, style, anything else you want to comment on. Where would you rate it? I want to see your tier list.
They're all good.
And compare it to mine, though.
Okay, hold on. Let me snip it. Just
Cheers,
to do
dude.
it.
That'd
And
be perfect.
hold on. Second snippet is. Oh, hello, crap.
And guys, I know there's only 4 games, and I could get rid of the empty categories, but I want to leave these gaps to accentuate what I'm trying to say about each of these games. I want to accentuate them with that.
I'm setting my tier list in the chat in a second.
Awesome.
What was that? What was that? I thought I heard a trouble in your background. I thought I heard someone go like, whoa. I thought I heard that.
I don't know. I think my mum's hoovering right now, so there might be
It might
background
have
noise. Yeah.
Why
Also,
remind me of that SpongeBob theme? Like,
sorry, what was that?
it reminded me of that SpongeBob theme. Where like, it reminded me of that SpongeBob theme. Where it was like, wah wah wah.
I vaguely remember that. Also, we have a QOTD answer, which is interesting. I asked everyone, if you were in charge, what would you do to save/revive the Bendy brand in 2021? Because, guys, this is not an opinion, this is fact. Bendy's dead, alright? Bendy's currently dead. It's in the dead zone. We've had no new Bendy content in a long time. I'm not saying it won't come back, but the game's dead. The game's dead, alright? People are still playing them, but there's nothing new. There's no active development happening right now. At least if there is, it's not being advertised or mentioned anywhere. Ooh, interesting, okay. So, you put them all in S rank? Damn.
Yeah.
Nice to know the Dark Rival's going.
They're good games.
Yeah. I mean, fair enough. I do enjoy all of them a lot. But I differ. Check out the stream. I'm gonna snip mine as well, just for the record, just so you guys can get a good look. I put Boris and the Dark Survival in S.
I don't know which one you are. Are you in the chapters?
I'm doing
Are
games.
you in the chapters, or are you still in the same one?
I'm on games. I'll do chapters in a minute.
Okay, so.
But yeah,
Alright.
for games, Boris was S rank, Nightmare Run was A rank, Ink Machine was C, and Dark Revival was U. It's not out yet, and unqualified. I think Bendy's dragged down by a lot of problems with gameplay and its ending. Like, there are a lot of missed opportunities. Also, although Chapter 4 is one of my favorites, because the second, half of it is really strong, the first half is pretty much a walking simulator, so it's a bit hit and miss. So, and also, the QOTD, DJ has said in response to the question, he thinks an update for Boris and the Dark Survival that would add Brute Boris as a boss or Easter egg appearance, as well as Tom and Allison, where you could play as them maybe, and mini games like the one from the Wolf Trials. Those would be, an update to Boris and the Dark Survival could revive the Bendy brand in 2021. I think that would be the first logical step, because you're taking something that's established, something that's been around a while, bringing something new, but something quite simple. So there's no big pressure, but also there's activity that'll make people start paying attention to the Bendy brand again, and then you follow it with something big. I think that is the way, and I think DJs might be on something here. But let's move on. So this is what I think of the Bendy games. That is that. What about the chapters? So, Bendy and the Ink Machine, alright, I gave it a C. I think it's a middling kind of game. What about the individual chapters? You can see we have chapters 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 here. Wait, they're in the wrong order. Chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me fix now. They're in the wrong order. Chapters 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know, Moving Pictures, The Old Song, Rise and Fall, Colossal Wonders, and The Last Reel. I almost forgot the name of the fifth one because, again, I've played that one as...
Yes.
I've played them all over loads of times, but for every new update, I've played it over and over like 1 or 2 less times because, obviously, they're newer. But yeah, let's begin with each chapter. So, let's be clear. What exactly is the criteria here? We're ranking it on gameplay, story, and whatever else is different between the chapters, you know, like Easter eggs and stuff, because like the collectibles, the graphics, the soundtrack is the same across all of them, so that's not going to make any difference. Those cancel each other out. So we're in fact I could do this as an alignment chart with gameplay and story. I think that would be
You could have done that, yeah.
Yeah, let's do this instead. We're gonna do good gameplay versus bad gameplay, good story versus bad story. How about it? I think that's pretty good.
You have it somewhere?
You can just do it in a tier list format if you want, but I'm gonna do it like this. What's presentation mode? There's a button at the top to switch it out.
Oh my god, excuse me, sorry!
Isn't it cool? Also, there's a dark mode.
My bad.
Oh, this looks good. Yeah, excuse you. I heard that, but I didn't care. It's okay, dude. We all, yeah.
Sorry, I was having my hydration.
Yeah,
I have my hydration.
You gotta have the hydration, guys. Look, I've got my squash with me. All right, I got the goods. I got the good stuff. All right, I got the goods. Oh god, I spilled some on my trousers. Oh. There is a feeling of water being rapidly doused between your legs, which is not pleasant. Give me a second, guys. All right, and we're back. Let's rapidly move on. So, I think I'm actually gonna swap these round. I think gameplay is a lot more complicated than story, so I'm actually gonna have story be that one. If that makes sense, guys. So, story on the y-axis, gameplay on the x-axis. So, the 5 chapters. And feel free to do this yourself. Achievements again. Some chapters are more interesting achievements, but it's a small difference. But yeah, here we go. So, this is where I'm ranking. Chapter 1. Chapter 1 is pretty boring compared to the others, but the thing is, you wouldn't expect, you know, high intense action combat and all of that kind of stuff in the first chapter. The first chapter's kind of, you know, setting the scene, laying the foundations, you know, the first chapter's kind of, you gotta start somewhere, you can't just thrust it straight into high gear. I mean, you could, but I think it's good that chapter 1 has kind of like an even, slow pace, and it's kind of focused on puzzle solving, and just, you know, there's no one else about, you can't die in the first chapter. I don't think that's a detriment to the gameplay, because I think it serves a story purpose and also a pacing purpose with the game, which actually works really well. Like, chapter 1 is nice and slow, and there's a focus on just, like, kind of, you know, getting the player familiar with the environment and the kind of world they're in. So chapter 1, I am going to say, is actually pretty good for gameplay. You've got the whole puzzle of activating the machine, which I think is really good. You know...
Yeah, and... what happened? I made a mistake!
Dude, what's going on?
I made a mistake. I accidentally did it on the character instead of the chapters.
I can't make out what you're saying. What? Your chapters?
I was doing the good story, bad story, good gameplay, bad gameplay on the characters on accident instead of chapters.
Oh boy. I mean, that could be applicable, but we'll get to that. No, we're doing chapters. Sorry. I know this stream's been a bit slow, hasn't it? Let me move things on. So yeah, we're going 45 minutes. Wait, when's my next stream? I'm doing another stream now. I want to make sure I do the notification on time. Sorry, I've not come prepared, guys.
Chapter 1.
How long until this? Oh, we've got loads of time. It's fine. So I think the gameplay. I think the gameplay was honestly pretty strong because it didn't need to have the same gameplay as the other chapters. It's the first chapter. It's just kind of setting the scene, and you know, introducing the story and stuff. You've got, you know, this letter from Joey. Henry comes back, and you know, the thing is, Henry's dialogue wasn't that good. I feel like it's not clear why he decides to activate the machine, and why he's not questioning, oh, where's Joey? Why is there no one here? You know, what like, I feel the story is kind of missing pieces there. But everything else is pretty logical.
It is.
And I like Henry as a character despite everything. Good gameplay. Gameplay was... Let me think about this for a second. You explore, which is obviously the first thing you do. It makes a lot of sense. And then you have to like collect items, like fetch questing, and then you pull a few levers and stuff. And there's all these creepy sounds happening. Honestly, I think Chapter 1's actually really good. I think the story was but the gameplay was solid, so I'm gonna put it up here. Chapter 2. Well, how's chat doing? Big overhaul by Chapter 4. Yeah, exactly. We're looking at the final version of the game here, guys. This is post-overhaul. Alright, Jesse. Sounds good. Chapter 2. Now, the gameplay was more interesting. You had a mix of combat, because you introduced the searches, and puzzle solving. You had, play all these instruments and, like, find all these, like, pipes and stuff. Also, the stream's buffering on my mobile. I hope that it's not suffering. Stream? Hello? I think we're losing frames. Hold on. No, we're good. We're good. But yeah, Chapter 2... it was a bit inconsistent, because like, you get chased by Bendy at the end, which is really cool, but like... a lot of this game's quite scripted. Again, it goes from puzzles to combat, and it's like, which is it? You can do both, and it did it pretty well. And I thought there were a bunch of nice Easter eggs, and the whole theme of music was really good here. I like Sammy Lawrence as a character. We get introduced to like Norman and Susie and a whole bunch of things. Like the way the story develops is pretty good. Gameplay, I don't know. I didn't think about this.
Well, there's me going crazy on chicken.
I mean, Henry's just trying to leave the studio at this point. Find a new exit.
Let him leave, my boy. Let Henry leave. Let him leave.
Yeah. Honestly, I think this is pretty much the same as Chapter 1, but with slightly better story. I think the gameplay was okay. I'm gonna put it there. I'm still kind of unsure, to be honest, because the thing is, each chapter is quite inconsistent. There's parts I really like, and there's parts I don't really like. Now, Chapter 3 is a bit controversial. Chapter 3 used to be the worst, because the fetch quests made the gameplay really boring, and not everyone quite liked the story with Alice and Boris and all that, but I actually still think this is a really good game. I think Bendy from Chapter 3, Rise and Fall, they really polished up the fetch questing, so it's not quite as tedious. But the thing is, it is the only chapter, the only part of the game which isn't completely linear and scripted. Even though it's a progression of go to A, go to B, go to C, go to D, you can actually free roam back and forth this whole huge map. Bendy can sometimes spawn, there's like random chances of enemies appearing, you have to fight them. The combat is really good. It just, expands what was in Chapter 2. There's no puzzle solving, which again is why, like, do I rate Chapter 2 down for being inconsistent with the puzzle solving, or do I rate Chapter 3 down for not having the puzzle solving and being inconsistent? Again, the whole game's kind of broken like that. I like both, so I don't mind. But honestly, I think Chapter 3 is probably the best chapter. And I'll explain why when I get to Chapter 4 in a moment, because I've always said Chapter 4 is the best, but I've changed my mind. I think Chapter 3... I liked Alice Angel as a character. Her story goes quite deep. We get a lot from like Thomas Connor and more of the tapes. There's loads of great secrets, like with Henry's tape and Sammy's song, and
don't forget
all kinds.
Don't forget the secret that was actually in the trailer before.
Yep, they added the new thing from the trailer, like the Chapter 3 trailer. Is that what you're referring to? Yeah, and like Bendy's actually quite scary, and it actually finally gets a presence as a malevolent force. Chapter 3 is probably the best chapter, so I'm gonna put it right up here. Like, story maybe not perfect, because there are some decisions which weren't very logical. Also, like, Boris helps open a door once, and then other than that, he basically does nothing for the whole chapter. So in terms of gameplay, Boris is kind of useless. Also, the thing is, I'm not going to rate it down for being buggy, because having that bug of being able to take the projectionist to other floors is actually really cool, which I thoroughly enjoyed doing that, so I'm not going to rate it down for that. I don't know, Chapter 3 is just kind of, it's more free roaming, there's a lot of secret stuff like the challenges as well, it's just the best. I'm gonna put it here. I'm gonna move these down to appropriate how good chapter 3 is. I think, yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one. Chapter 1 is very simplistic story-wise, but it does well. Chapter 2 is, I don't know, mixed bag. I'm not sure. It's hard to say.
For me, I'm not saying.
I'm very neutral on most of this.
Well, to me, for chapter 3, to me, it was kind of easy, kind of like, it was good, but without the story, which, yeah, you're right, it is deep. But mostly, with just some of the best team, it's just mediocre. It's just mediocre,
Yeah.
to be honest. With all the defensive quests and all.
You still think, yeah. I don't mind that anymore. I think it's a lot more interesting. Yeah?
But to me, mostly, the best games, it's just, why would you do that?
I will say,
so
the thing with the Swollen Searcher is still pretty frustrating. Everything else is great, though. I enjoy the rest of it. I don't mind the valve puzzle so much, except that one spot where the search keeps spawning behind you. They clearly did that to dick over the players. Not great, but, okay, so yeah, let's not put it up to perfection. Honestly, again, I said Bendy was a C grade. Honestly, let's appropriate all of this. Alright. So
now, chapter 4.
Chapter 4. Now, chapter 4.
Now, chapter 4.
4, yeah. 4 supper.
4.
I originally thought chapter 4 was the best, alright? I was thinking, you know what? Chapter 4, favourite chapter, best in the game. It's got all the stuff, okay? You've got 2 boss fights. Brute Boris and Bertram both play with unique game mechanics, which are built on based on earlier parts of the chapter, and it's all tied to the story and the logic and the science of the universe, which is great. You get great character development. Alice, but, well, actually you don't. Alice doesn't really develop as a character because it's all finished by the time we meet her, you know. Boris gets turned into a Frankenstein monster. Henry goes through the loss of him, but, you know, it doesn't really have an impact on anything. You know, the best we got was some out-of-game tapes, which were on the YouTube channel, about Henry lamenting the loss of Boris for a little bit, but, like, you know, it doesn't seem to have that big effect on him, and, you know, there was some lost, I think, character development in Chapter 4. It's very cool, though, because we get a variety of gameplay. We get the boss fights, we get the stealth section with the Butcher Gang, which is really cool, because it's more innovative. It means you don't have to just keep fighting like you did in Chapter 3. You know, we get the fairground games, and we get that section with the projectionist and him fighting Bendy. Chapter 4 was jam-packed. It was cool. But that was only the second half. The first half served some story purpose, but it's pretty much just a walking simulator up until you actually find Bendyland. It's just go to A, go to B, go to C, go to D. You have that little puzzle at the start, and then you're trying to do the puzzle. Again, gameplay's inconsistent. I don't know, like, it feels a bit mismatched, a bit weird, and, like, you can kind of tell it was like, okay, we do this, and then this, and then this, and then this, and it's just, Like, there are puzzles, it's got a bit of everything, and that's what makes it good. And the story is one of the most interesting parts, but there are some really boring sections, like we have to walk up that big staircase, just listen to Alice monologue. And also that pointless section where you're on the bridge, and it starts, like, shaking, and there's tense music, and then nothing happens. It's just a scripted event to spook you out the first time you play. There's no gameplay involved. There's no consequence, because there's nothing... Like, it would have been cool if there was, you know, you had to do something to keep the bridge stable, otherwise you fall into the abyss and die. I think that would have been a really good, really scary way to die, and a really interesting bit of gameplay there, to emphasize how dangerous everything is. But no, we just got this dumb, scripted wobble and music. Trying to think of everything I can, but I think I've covered most bases.
To me, it was cool because like you were able to play arcade games within the game. So I guess you could say it's gameception. I don't know. To me, it just was.
Again, the thing is, it's less consistent, but the bits that are good are really good. So for this, I'm still gonna rate it higher than Chapter 3 for gameplay. Chapter 4 is still my favorite. I'm a bit biased, but in terms of story, I'm actually gonna put it down because, actually, no, I can't. Because, again, it's inconsistent, but we got all of the Bendyland lore, the Bertram story arc, which was really good. Much more quick and much more concise and developed than Alice. Guys, forget what I said. Chapter 4 is still the best chapter. Change my mind. It's still the best chapter. I know it's inconsistent, but it is still better than Chapter 3. Because even though it's, like, very linear, like, there's a lot of good variety. The story is just a bit more fine-tuned. You know, you've got the actual, you know, dynamic of Henry and Alice and Boris, and also, you know, Bertram and his history. you know, which I don't know, they're equal, but Chapter 4 still has better gameplay, because Chapter 3, you know, the exploration and the questing, the fetch questing, and, you know, the hide and seek with Bendy was cool, but Chapter 4 has a lot more different, engaging sequences, and you can tell they're that, but I don't know, I still enjoy it more. Comes close, but...
Well, I still do enjoy it either. Oh, excuse me.
What do you think, though? I'm rambling a lot. Do you have anything else you want to agree, disagree with about Chapters 3 and 4?
I think the one thing I have to just, like, be honest with Chapter 4 is, like, the scene, like, in gameplay we actually were in the vent, like, crawling through them, and Bendy comes out of nowhere from that vent. Legit. When he came out, legit, I'm not gonna lie, I jumped, legit.
Oh, yeah, it's scary,
like,
dude.
Where the hell did you come from?
It's really scary. I didn't expect that. It's weird, though, how he just gives you a shush and walks away. Like, Bendy's really inconsistent. It's kind of... Bendy's suffering from the same syndrome that Circus Baby had in Sister Location, okay? On Night 1, they're mysterious. On Chapter 2 and Chapter 3, they're evil. In the 4th part, they're just nice to you, kind of? Or different and weird. And then in the 5th part,
the
they're
one
back to how
thing
they
that
were.
got me
It
was...
doesn't make sense. It's weirdly inconsistent.
But to be honest, though, when Bendy was at the vent, it made it look like it was like, here's Bendy!
Yeah, right? But, like, what's his motivation? You know, was he sitting there waiting for Henry? Why isn't he, like, attacking him like he always does? And why does he go back to attacking him in Chapter 5? Yeah, it's weird. It doesn't make any sense. And there's no explanation.
Maybe he's just, like... Probably he's after the projectionist. Maybe. Maybe for something, for a plan? I'm not sure.
He kills the again, it's not clear why he kills the projectionists and stuff either. No, and that's probably got an actual reason, because we see that connected in Chapter 5 with, like, the throne room and stuff. Like, he has loads of projector heads to watch his cartoons. That actually makes a lot of sense for character. But again, like, I don't know, it's just a lot of stuff is just like, huh? Chapter 5.
What?
Chapter 5. What do we think of Chapter 5? The last reel.
Chapter 5. The last reel, of course. This one, I must say, is the best. It is very good, because the characters, the story, and basically the ending. The ending was actually surprising. But yet, it will be an infinite loop.
I think
no way to break it.
I think the infinite loop idea was interesting, but I still have mixed feelings about it, and because it has implications that absolutely trash the story, because everything becomes meaningless when you realize, oh, this is all just a loop inside some kind of pocket ink machine dimension, like nothing has consequences, none of it was real. You know, they might have well have said, oh, it was all just a dream. Yeah. You know, and that lack of, the only real consequences at Henry's, again, there's still so much we don't know. Maybe there are some real consequences, kind of, but it just, I don't know, it feels cheap. It feels really cheap. Like, there should have at least been multiple endings, because that would have been much more satisfying.
Yeah, it should have been like a good ending or a bad ending.
Joey and his apartment in, like, real life with all the fall colours was astonishing. That was a shocking moment, which just blew my mind. And I honestly don't mind that. But I feel like the vague... You know, there's so much things which are just kind of vague. It's just like, okay, so we've established these rules that certain characters can't go through the ink. But you just kind of leave Allison and Tom behind, and then you never see him again. And then suddenly... The whole Bendy boss fight was garbage. First of all, we all wanted to fight Bendy as we'd seen him throughout the entire game, but we only got to face the Beast version of Bendy, which is fine, but I feel like there should have been 5 stages rather than 3, and his transformation should have been partway through, and that would have been cool. Also, Henry survives being smacked through metal walls by him, but, you know, doesn't survive being poked by Bendy again. There's some weird inconsistencies there. There's also, like... The whole boss fight is just running around, pulling levers, and not getting, like, dodging the beast. And it's more like 2.5 stages, really. Like, it's a really lackluster boss fight. It's a really just kind of mediocre. Like, it didn't deliver on expectations. Especially after such a stunning rest of the chapter. The stealth section with the Butcher Gang in the administration section was really cool. It's the only part of the game which is truly a stealth section, because with the projectionist, you know, maze, you have the option to fight him, and there's actually an achievement for not getting spotted once, which is incredibly hard to do. It's a brilliant challenge. It's very well crafted. It is buggy, but that's funny because it works to your advantage. There's loads of great secrets and Easter eggs, you know, with the tapes, achievements. The Battle of the Lost Harbor is really cool. I learned in a recent Bendy stream that if you do nothing, that kind of makes the experience painful. That was just me trying to get an achievement. My music just paused again for some reason. But the fight was really cool. It was huge. At this huge scale, you've never seen before kind of thing with the wave. You've got allies with you, so Tom and Allison actually do damage. Also, the whole thing with Sammy, we finally got closure on Sammy Lawrence. You know, he finished his character arc, which made a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I really like how Sammy was handled. I thought it was really cool. Even the boat part, the ink barge part at the start was pretty tense and quite challenging with the ink hand. Like, it was a good kind of beginning to the final chapter and setting up the kind of, you know, large threats coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, to be honest, like, Sammy, like, I only know, like, Sammy voiced normal in chapter 2, but at chapter 5, his voice is, like, distorted?
Yeah.
Something different.
It's just one of those things which makes you wonder. There's probably a reason for it. It doesn't really matter. Like, that's not an inconsistency I'm going to complain about. But honestly, in terms of gameplay, I think it's on par with chapter 4. I think it's the same, equal to chapter 4. It's really good gameplay. Story, however, I like the exposition at the start. Usually exposition's boring, but they really nicely and concisely show you Tom and Allison as characters in depth, the relationship with Henry, the passage of time. It's a really good sequence. You know, them not being sure if they can trust Henry, that whole dilemma, having to leave him for dead, a lot of good stuff. I like Sammy's character arc. Even all of the Butcher Gang, the Lost Ones and the Searchers, like, it makes sense. You know what they're doing. Again, the only really sucky part is the ending, because Bendy's motives are still kind of vague. The boss fight was underwhelming, and then Joey's just like, come into my kitchen. You know, you had a happy family, me, I had a crooked empire. Henry, come visit my workshop, kicks you through the door, you know. I mean, it's a cool sequence, it's a cool speech, but, I don't know, Joey was really interesting throughout the tapes, and then in that kitchen phase, I just wasn't sure what to think. I guess it's him being two-faced and stuff, but, you know what? No. The story was great, the gameplay was great, it's just the ending and the boss fight which drag it down, so I think I might honestly still rate Chapter 5 above Chapter 3. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But they were good. You may notice, guys, there's one trend here. These are all in the positive quadrant, because I don't think any of these chapters are inherently bad. I just think they're all inconsistent, so there are bits that drag them up and down. And as a result, I don't think this scale is actually very reliable, you know? I think I could have put these anywhere and argued for them. I don't think this is very reliable. So, I don't really know what to say about this, but that's my rating. It's as good as I can get. We're going to finish off with the last tier list now. Hello, Kikichi. Hello, Super Mario DJ. Thank you for joining. Boys, I know I took a lot of time on this tier list. I'm going to pace things up because there's a lot more things on here, alright? So, I could do this as an alignment chart, but I think I'm just going to do this as a tier list. This is a tier list of every character from Bendy and the Machine, and therefore Boris and the Dark Survival, plus some from Bendy and Nightmare Run, and the cartoons. And I made this. This is a tier list I made quite a while ago. If you want to check it out, the link is in the description, down below. I'm just going to rate these characters based on how well designed as characters I think they are. You know, their kind of, you know, story arcs, their, like, design, you know, role. You know, just because they're a less important character, for example, doesn't mean they're bad, you know? But yeah. So...
Yeah, I gotta read that. What's the degree?
So let's, you know what, I'm going to keep this simple. Let's just place them all, and then we'll talk about them. We'll compare and contrast. So, again, some of them are collective, like the Lost one here.
If I think I'm load. I think like take a while to load. Dang it.
Yeah. I'm going to be honest, I don't even remember these, like, Bendy and Nightmare Run characters. Like, I don't even remember them. I'm just going to put all the Bendy and Nightmare Run runs in U, just because I can't remember them for now.
I remember the chest. The name was Chester. I know the Chester. I know the treasure box one. That was Chester. Chester the chest.
Chester.
I think.
I don't
I think it
know.
was that one, yeah.
That makes me think of Five Nights at Candy's. It's not that funny.
Chester is infinite confirmed. Alright, okay, so, let's go. Okay, for me, and the thing is glitching again.
So you may
God
notice
dang it.
some of them, there are tapes, there are like, it just has the tapes with the name because we don't have a face for them, and some of them are ink creatures. I've noticed that I've put Bertram twice, just put them both in the same one, ignore that because it's the same character. That was an idiotic move on my part.
Yeah, that's found me. God damn it! Oh. Thing is loading again. What is up with this thing today? Either it's me or it's a tap. I have no clue.
Me neither, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I need time to think about this. Now,
was
this is just the characters, okay? This can include all of their appearances, depictions from the games, from the novel, from the books, alright? So this can include everything. Alright.
Ah.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
Chester, there he is.
Hold
Hold on, I'm just still working this out, guys. None of this is final. Give me a bit
Yeah,
of
I'm
time.
still trying to get anything too, but my thing is like freaking lagged. Like glitching.
Oof. Alright.
For some reason I can't go on the. What the heck? Oh, now it doesn't say anything for the stream. God damn it! What is up with me today?
Your Wi-Fi is having
My fireball is a
issues.
piece of shit.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, what's that? Issues. Okay. Okay, if this does not work, I swear to God, I'm going to literally take a box and put it right through Firefox and make it burn.
Alright.
It's not weird how I said that. Just don't ask.
Okay.
Come on. Trying to make it work. There we go, there we go. Now I got it working. It's working. It's working now. It's working.
It's working. It's working.
We now have beans.
Beans. Yeah.
Why did they think the beans? Legit, I don't get it. It's just beans.
Beans. It's just a dumb meme,
Like-
alright? There is no meaning.
I imagine myself now. I imagine myself in your bean game, just like I want your beans.
Oh god damn it. Alright.
I haven't worked on mine at all, thanks to the freaking Firefox glitching. Ah, crap. You just talk about yours, Matt, while I work on mine.
Alright.
Sound fair?
Well, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. So, I think you guys are beginning to see how this is kind of taking shape here. Effectively, a lot of my favorite characters, like, so basically, like, you know, S rank is like the absolute best characters, really well developed, great arcs. A rank is like slightly imperfect, characters, but, you know, ones that are, you know, pretty interesting and a lot of, like, you know, you get a lot of information about them quite quickly. B rank is like okay characters that were kind of missing, you know, good chunks of, like, you know, they're like, you know, they're fairly two-dimensional, but they're okay. C rank is just kind of meh, kind of just exists really for gameplay or kind of otherwise unremarkable. D is characters that were like really missing, you know, opportunities. E is characters that are kind of rubbish. F is trash characters. U is just, I'm ignoring you. And I'm still working this out, so... Lost Ones, I thought, were the perfect way to show the sheer suffering and the, you know, the pain that the victims of JoJo Studios went through. I thought they were a really, really good idea. It's kind of weird how we fight them in Chapter 5 after seeing how poor they are in Chapter 4, but it kind of follows up the whole no angels thing. I think Bertram Piedmont has a really good arc. You can quite clearly tell, you know, what his personality was like and what became of him. Boris, thanks to Boris in the Dark Survival, is an S rank rather than just like a B rank. Because in Bendy and the Machine, I don't think he had much going on. But, you know, Boris, I think, now we know who Buddy was. We've looked very deeply into his background, his, you know, family, his values, you know, what he was really doing. I think the novel really shows us how great a character that Buddy was. Brute Boris is just the same character, so same thing. Thomas Connor and Wally Franks are another pair of absolute favourites. I think they're hilarious. I think they're iconic. I think it's very interesting to see their kind of motives. Thomas Connor's a bit of like a grey area in terms of morals, because like he helps build the machine and stuff, but like he doesn't support the all of Joey's like mad science. But he's kind of like in on stuff, from Jen, and he's kind of a bit, he doesn't trust Henry at first, but then he comes around after Allison presumably convinces him. It's great. And the projectionist Norman Polk and Grant Cohen, I just thought they were very charismatic, very well written. A-list is a little bit lower. Again, I think the skeleton and the gingerbread man from the cartoons were just instantly very recognizable as characters. They just had a lot of funny personality. I just thought, obviously they're not as grand as like other characters. There isn't as much to them, but there doesn't need to be, because what there is executed very well. And I think the skeleton, especially in the whole Tombstone Picnic thing, that was quite symbolic. I think Sean Flynn and Sammy Lawrence both go here, because Sean Flynn he only appears the one time, but, he's really cool. I just thought, you instantly get a sense of what the community was like at JoJo Studios, as well as this individual. With him describing events and his... it's Jacksepticeye, guys, what's not to like? Sammy Lawrence, I think, was almost perfect, but, again, parts of his character arc are still pretty unclear, like why, he worships Bendy, and it's not really clear why. And like everything else is really good, but one of the staples of his character, it's like that transformation's a little vague. The most information we've got is a Dark Revival tape that mentioned that Sammy started seeing Bendy in his dreams, but it's like, why does that turn from hate to love? It's very strange. And then below that we get characters which I really liked, but again could have gone a bit deeper. Boris in the cartoons and Edgar in the cartoons were both really cool. I like them a lot, but again, they're very surface level, which I would expect from the cartoons, as opposed to the Gingerbread Man and the Skeleton, which were very three-dimensional characters. This is probably just personal bias talking. But yeah, I think, again, Susie's character arc was really interesting, except it wasn't because she didn't have one. Like, Susie's character arc plays out in the tapes, but as Alice Angel in the game time, she doesn't change, nothing interesting happens, she's just kind of vaguely evil and selfish. A lot of missed opportunities for a possible redemption in later chapters. Allison is even worse, to be honest, because she's just kind of, oh, I'm Alice, but I'm good, but I'm not an angel, but I'm a good guy, but I'm badass, but I'm a good guy. And she's kind of bland, honestly, which is a shame, because Alison Pendle got some interesting development in the novels, and also she's pretty conflicted at the start. She had the 5, but it doesn't really go anywhere. So again, that's Susie Campbell accounted for. Actually, Susie Campbell, who am I kidding? Susie Campbell, S rank. Susie Campbell's amazing. Alice is not. I know they're the same character, but it's different points in time.
Yes.
Susie had a brilliant arc, very in-depth, most paid attention to character in the whole thing. Bendy and Henry, I think, are both outlined, but kind of lacking. Bendy doesn't have a clear motive in chapter 4. Henry's dialogue is inconsistent, and also, like, it just kind of leaves a bit more to be wanted. We get more characterization from Henry in the YouTube extra videos than the entire game. I'm going to put him in A just for that, but still, it's kind of shaky. And then everyone else is just various levels of mediocrity. Oh, yeah?
Yep, I have finished mine.
Cool. Do you want to send me an image so I can compare? I'm not going to go through the rest of them, guys. These guys, like, some of them are pretty interesting, like, one-offs. Like, I might put these here, honestly, but, like, a lot of them have no character purpose at all. I don't remember where this guy's from. These guys, nah.
Which one are you talking about?
So, like, everyone I haven't mentioned, okay? So, like, the Ink Hand, really interesting concept. Zero character development. It's just kind of in the middle with, like, the searches and stuff, and the Butcher Gang, which is just like the Lost Ones, but, like, less interesting. The variants of the searches I don't even recognize. Beast Bendy added nothing to Bendy as a character. So he's going in F with, like, the Nightmare Run characters and this cartoon character, because I don't remember these. Like, these guys are just enemies purely for gameplay, so they don't really have much going for them. There's little descriptions of the 4 bosses, which is why I put them in E, because they're a little bit more fleshed out. But they're pretty much on par with, like, the Toons, like, Bendy, Alice, some of the Butcher Gang members, because, like, they were pretty two-dimensional, And I wouldn't expect them not to be, but it's kind of I don't know. Yeah. That's my tier list, guys. Joey Drew is complicated, which is why I haven't put him in yet. I'm still thinking about it. But let's see yours, Kat.
Yep.
So this is what you think. Ooh.
Yep. Alrighty.
You're a lot more generous. You didn't put anyone
Yeah,
in
and while you
ELF.
do that, I'm gonna be RB real quick. I'm gonna be RB real quick.
Alright,
So,
alright.
be right back.
Alright. Interesting, interesting. So this guy actually rates Cartoon Boris, Bendy, you know, even the Searchers and the Ink Hand really high. He rates all of these characters at S rank, guys. He absolutely loves everyone except for Joey. He puts in a B with these guys. He put the mini enemies above the bosses. Now I'm just confused. And yeah, he didn't like Bertram. He didn't like Bertram at all. He didn't like Grant Cohen. And he put the Lost Ones in D? What? I need to ask this guy some questions. I can understand why I put Alice in U. I think that's a bit extreme, but like maybe just can't decide. I can't decide with Joey, guys, because Joey... I'm thinking we get lots of tapes about him in pretty much every chapter, almost. Chapters 3, 4, and 5, at least. And then we get his ending. You know what? I think Joey's S rank. Because we get loads of deep info on Joey and his kind of two-sided personality, him being like this, you know, grumpy, sadistic, selfish boss with this charming exterior. And we see a lot of that in the novels as well with Buddy. I think Joey's S rank. What do we think? Who agrees? Who disagrees? This is my tier list. This is my tier list of Bendy characters. FNAF engines removed? I don't think so. Gabe Dudas? I don't know what you're talking about. It's right here. It's right here. It's not been moved. Also, yeah, why would you bring that up? It's completely unrelated. Hello.
Ooga booga.
4 months of development plus 3 months of slacking. That's pretty much the development of Fear. Huh. Anyway, so I'm very confused about your tier list. You put Alice Angel in U, the Lost Ones in D, Bertram Piedmont and Grant Cohen in C, and yet you put the minions above the bosses from Nightmare Run and the Ink Hand and the Searchers in S. What is going on with this tier list? Give me a rundown. I'm so confused. I respect your opinions, but I'm so confused.
Okay, so the reason why I put some of them in S, because they're just good in my opinion. I know there's like some that don't make sense, but it's just, to me, it's just the detail and modeling, but most of the tape people are the voice actors. What is going on with your voice? Matt, what the heck?
What is it? I wasn't saying anything.
They're like static your mouth. They're like static. Is Thunderman there?
That's weird. I had this issue when I was in my D&D session. People were saying there was sometimes noise. I'm gonna mute my mic when I'm not talking, so you can focus. I'm just gonna mute while I'm not talking. So this will help him.
Right.
Hopefully the stream
yeah, the
mic
reason why
is okay.
also that but the cartoons as well, because well the YouTube little cartoons, I love them. The
valid.
butchers, I mean, they're good. They are good. Just in my opinion, they are creepy, and that's what makes the game good, because you want creepy. And as for the voices, it's just voice actors are best, and yeah, that's what makes the game pretty amazing.
Okay, so I have to say I agree with the cartoons. The only reason I put the Snowman so low is because I don't remember it being that good or interesting. But yeah, they were very quickly iconic in a way that, ironically, the main cartoons like Bendy and Alice, in my opinion, were not. I think Bendy and Alice as the toon characters were pretty two-dimensional, and maybe they are supposed to be, but even so, like, I just don't think they're that interesting. How come you put Beast Bendy in S? Is that just because it was the same as Bendy, or is it just because Bendy's in S, or?
It was just like, well, mostly because I know how he freaking transformed, because you remember the giant hand.
Yeah.
I'm probably thinking that maybe Bendy's arm turned into like giant hand, maybe? I am not sure, but that giant hand.
Why would Bendy
God,
be the
if you
giant
find that
hand?
somewhere, you better run.
That makes no sense. So that they're not the same character. There's no proof. The hand, okay, in the concept art, the hand was Bendy's hand because it had the 2 dots on the back of the glove, but it doesn't make any sense that it's Bendy. Like, it just can't be. Why'd you put the Ink Hand in S? The Ink Hand is like no character arc, no clear story. It's just kind of like a monster that represents kind of, I don't know, the deep, you know, seductive evil.
Like I said, for the intensity and creepiness of gameplay, that is why. Because you have because legit, it makes you think to yourself, you have to rush to get that thing on the boat fixed.
Yeah.
So that's why.
But as a character, it doesn't really have a lot going for it, I don't think. It's like, I heard a theory it was representative of Joey's evil, and it's just kind of, at the very, very, very bottom, this is like a creature that's grown out of the radioactive ink waste, but you know, and it's like a kind of symbolic maybe, and you know, provides a great kind of monster threat at the start, but like, it's not, you know, that kind of nuance, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, S rank is the highest tier, alright? What about the searches? You put all the searcher variants in there.
Because they are good for, when they introduced the battles, that was a good point of me to think, these are good. So, I thought, yeah, it should be worth it. They should be in the S, because it does introduce the fighting part of the game.
Okay, but, other than... other than being, oh, this is what happened to the people who worked at Joey Drew Studios, but not as quite, humanized as the Lost Ones. What do they mean? What do they provide as characters?
Well, I'm guessing mostly, how they became, I guess? I'm thinking, because...
I just don't think that... We're rating characters here, not gameplay. I mean, gameplay's a part of it, but, more focused on character and story.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know.
Okay, just checking. I know. Maybe I should have done this in alignment chat.
I should have done... Yeah, we should have done that. But sadly, for me, I have to go.
Oh, you have to go? Oh, can I ask you one thing before you go? Why'd you put Bertram and Grant Cohen in C rank? And why'd you put Alice in U? Okay, that's 3 questions. I want to know before you go. Don't want to rush you, but... I'm curious.
Just one question I can answer. Only one. Only one. Okay. Only one. And I'll have to go with Alice. Because reason? I know her story Z, but the sign. The heck? It was just creepy and just weird and just... Mostly the side of the head. The static in your background, dude. Static again.
Okay, I know Alice didn't really have an arc in chapters 3 and 4, but isn't it fascinating how she's kind of got this duality of a victim and a kind of oppressor at the same time? She makes Henry an errand boy, she puts him on these tasks, and then just steals Boris and backhands him even after he's done what he's been told, but is also horrifically disfigured and trying to crawl out of that hole that Joey put her in, this tragic kind of new life in death. Is that not a really good character right there?
To me, it's just... I mean, with story, yes, but design? Ugh. The side of the face is just creepy.
But that's the point. The whole point is that she's almost, perfect and beautiful and the kind of, but she's not. She's got these... That's the point. I think you've missed the point, buddy. I think you missed the point of the whole of chapter 3.
Yeah. I need to replay it again.
Well, alright, if you gotta go. It's been a pleasure having you on, mate. Guys, go check him out. Links in the description. Guys, go to Discord as well as a Game Jolt. If you want that, just contact him on Game Jolt. He'll give it to you. Maybe put it in your Game Jolt bio if you want that advertised. Whatever. But yeah, that has been Malcat, Starcat, whatever. Summer cameo, guys. From Starcat Productions. Anything you want to say before you go?
Yep. I can say one thing. Beware soon of the shadows, because the show is coming. That's all I can say.
Alright. Thanks for joining.
See you all next time.
Alright. It's always nice to collab. Sure, we know more people today, but honestly, that's fine. I can't get my head around this tier list. Guys, I think he got it all backwards. I think he was basing it more on gameplay than character. But whatever. I'm streaming Henry Stickmin in a bit. I might start this stream early. For now, though, that has been all. I'm gonna go now. this is my final tier list of Bendy characters for the moment. Dark Revival might bring new ones, I might make a new one, I don't know. But yeah, this stream's been pretty dead, honestly. So be it. Hello, Omega Player, thank you for joining. I'm gonna end the stream now, guys, but hopefully you have enjoyed. Hopefully this has been pretty interesting to, you know, engage with and share opinions on. I really think, like, Bendy and the Machine is always on the verge of telling really good stories, and then it kind of just misses a spot here and there. Like, you know, Alice Angel didn't like develop or change as a character. Allison didn't develop or change as a character. Bendy was really vague, which was kind of interesting, and then it got elaborated on the novels, but he was really inconsistent. Samuel Lawrence is missing a crucial piece of being, like, you know, my favourite. But, you know, characters like Joey and Bertram, the Lost Ones, are really rounded. I like Norman Polk, I like Thomas Connor, and there's so much more that could be explored with them that doesn't deny that, you know, they're really good. Even Susie. But yeah, absolute shit here with the with Bendy, Beast Bendy, and because, you know, all of that is just meh. This is meh. This is rubbish. Like, who are you? I don't remember. I might put him higher if I remembered who he was, honestly, but I don't. But anyways, that is all for today, so I'm going to close that out. I'm going to start this stream early because I am just kind of, I don't know what I'm doing today, guys. My schedule, I moved streams around when I shouldn't have. The Stickmin stream, this was originally going to be at 5:35, so I'm going to switch it around, but it's 5:23 now. I'm going to go. If you have enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and share this with your friends. All the support is very much appreciated. Check out the links in the description if you haven't already. Obviously, you can go find Malcat and his content. If you want to do the tier list for yourself, they're down there. Today's Kyoto winner is by far Super Mario TJ, because he's the only one who actually submitted one. I think your point about Boris and the Dark Survival was very pertinent. I think if Bendy's going to make a proper comeback, it needs to start with Boris and the Dark Survival, move on to either another new... Boris and Dark Survival, new merchandise maybe, Dark Revival. Or even just Dark Survival, Dark Revival. Just start with that. And yeah, I think they could have more mini-games, add more characters. Today's charity shout-out as well goes to Greenpeace. Greenpeace is a wonderful charity, guys, wonderful cause. I'm not going to spend too long on this, but basically they are working to protect the environment in a lot of ways. You know, they've got petitions you can sign and donations you can make. You can sign up for email. They're doing all kinds of campaigns and raising awareness for things like, you know, problems with pollution and, you know, littering, you know, social justice and protesting, climate change, loads of good stuff. So please go check him out. The link is in the description. Go check out DJ. He does great content. And yeah, everything else is there below. You can check out my social media pages if you want to donate to me. That is an option. And you can also check out my Instagram, Twitter, GameJolt, whatever. I have 2 Instagrams technically, but yeah, this has been a pretty quiet stream, so I'm just gonna end it here because, like, I'm not gonna go on and ramble with all these things when there's not many people to see, because the few people who are here have heard this all before, and if you are new here, then consider tuning in for my next stream, which is probably gonna start in like 20 minutes because I'm gonna move it back forward. I need to get a grip. All right, thank you so much for watching. Stay hydrated.